Please welcome Mary.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm going to talk about organizing a conference in 80 plus days. A small disclaimer, everything in this talk is my personal experience. I didn't organize any of the conferences on my own, but I cannot, so I will tell we a lot, but this is not the truth, it's just how I experience things in those teams. So back to the title, organizing a conference in 80 plus days. It's not that much time, it's 3 months if you think about it. And if it's possible, I will say yes, because we have done it twice at bol.com. This is making too much noise. But then you might tell me, are you bragging for no reason? Is it actually hard? I will say yes again, because it is a full-time job for many other people, and we did it as part of our daily routine. And furthermore, the deadlocks that you will end up, the cyclic dependencies, will blow your mind. It's like in your first month, you're already stuck. In order to find the people, you need the speakers. In order to have the speakers, you need to give them an audience. In order to find the venue, you need the budget. In order to determine the budget, you need the venue. The people will not attend if they don't know where it is. You cannot book a place if you don't know how many people are coming. So, no, it's not easy. But if it's not easy, then why are we doing this? Is it just a conference mania that exists in IT, or is there a deeper reason? Conference mania is not my term. It's something that a friend of mine asked once at a conference. We were organizing Eurocrypt in Athens, and he just moved from mathematics to cryptography. And at the end of the conference, he turns to me and is like, why on earth do you have so many conferences? Why everything needs to have a conference? Why do everybody needs to go to conferences? What's wrong with you, people? And at that point, I didn't really give much thought. But after I also moved to bol.com, I saw that it's not only academia, it's also industrial business solutions, that everything has a conference. Elasticsearch has a conference, Kotlin has a conference, Java has plenty of conferences, and so on, so on. So why? Also, plus meetups. If you're not big enough to have a conferences, you definitely have meetups. So we have more social events than social studies, and we're supposed to be like antisocial people. So why? That's why, I think, at least. Because we meet each other, we exchange ideas, we create a network, we meet the people that we admire, the people that we read at the blogs. We get to challenge them, we get inspired by other people's ideas, we adapt them in our own environment, we get something out of it. We get to share the cool things that we're doing, and we also have a lot of fun. So we established why organizing a conference is cool, but why do you have to hear it from me? I'm Mary. I started my IT career, let's say, in studying informatics in Greece. And then we organized a few conferences as a volunteer, because that's the only way as a student you can actually afford to go to a conference. And in the end, it was a really cool experience for me. And after that, I came to the Master of Science Software Engineering, where I always participate in organizing GoTo. And 4 years at bol.com, we have 2 Spaces Summit in our history. And I love meta-programming, which makes this a very funny talk for me, because it's a meta-talk. I'm talking about organize a conference at the same conference. So, let's go back in time. 2 years ago at the Boral, me, Jim, and Pauline were discussing about the growth pains of bol.com. What are we missing? How do we feel? How do we feel the change? What we saw is that as bol.com was getting bigger, we were having troubles. The new people that were landing were not meeting anybody. They were not feeling always part of all the cycles. And if you were in one space, you would never meet the people from the other space. That meant that the knowledge gap was getting bigger and bigger. People might came up to the same solution, same POCs at different parts of the company, and then ending up in the same problems, reinventing the wheel, etc., etc. And that all is quite demotivating, because if you are stuck in a place when you're not doing cool stuff at that moment, you don't hear that there is, light in the end of the tunnel, and you get demotivated. And of course, the solution came naturally with a few beers. We should do a conference, and all of the problems will get addressed magically. And this is the right thing to do. So on Monday, after the Friday Boral, we arranged the meeting so we can remember to actually do it. And we said, okay, what's our plan? What we should do? We asked a few people. We found an ally. Leon is sitting right there. He's usually trying to stay in the shadow about this, but he has been there from the beginning, helping us convince people that this is actually a nice idea. Because in the beginning, that was all in our heads. We actually really had to convince many people about this. And it happened, and it was better than we could have dreamt of. And it was not a smooth ride, but the outcome, we were not believing it. So how did that happen? 4 people is too little of a team. There is no way we could have done it on our own, so we found more help. We asked the opinion of the people that said, yeah, we tried it before, it's too big, it didn't work, because they will tell you what failed, and you can avoid that, which is great. Stay positive. There are many moments of despair where you have 3 abstracts and 4 participants, and you're like, what the hell am I doing here? There is no hope. But we kept pushing and trying to convince people about it. And yeah, I guess in the end it worked. And I still remember the moment when somebody at the parking lot, a few days before the summit, the first one, told me that I missed the deadline for the call for papers, but next year I will definitely do it. And at that point I was like, wait a minute, what next year? We're struggling to get it this year. What are you talking about? And that was the moment when I realized that a conference is not born when it happens, it's born when people recognize as a conference. So Spaces Summit existed like a few weeks before it actually happened, because people thought, this is an event I want to go. And that helps a lot. So if all this is resolved, it's important to be prepared for the unexpected and think out of the box, like this out of the box. And even more out of the box. Most people are from bol.com, but to give a little bit of an explanation, F-Tower, the building we expanded, was not available yet. It still had Capgemini logos and no internet. But this was the place when Spaces Summit was going to happen. And of course, IT conference without internet, not an option. What we did, think out of the box, we pulled a cable from the E-Tower with a very professional sticker, don't remove, please, that we pulled 60 meters to the F-Tower when it was connected to a few access points distributed around the place. Other hacks. Under that towel, there is a Capgemini logo, which doesn't set the right thing for the conference. So we covered it with a towel and a few other things that were there. And finally, the Spaces Summit t-shirt approved by marketing, which is slightly more difficult than you would expect. But in the end, it was beautiful, and it didn't even stop there. So many things happened after it. Trainings, posts, people wearing the t-shirt in other conferences. We were amazed by that. And we even made it to the corridor of bol.com. So there is a hallway in the main building where we have the milestones of bol.com, and we are one of them. That was quite a thing to see. And also, that was just before we started thinking about next year. And when we saw that with the 3 of us in this case, Leon and Jim and me, we're like, ooh, how do we top that? That's not easy. So we went back to the beginning. So what was one of the things that were important is make everybody feel welcome. So we created a call for organizers and asked people to join. That meant that everybody could join. We have a person that started 6 months ago and was still part of the organization committee. That's why he was not even there when we started. He was added later. So we made a very enthusiastic team. We stayed there to facilitate and help with previous issues, but it was all them. Patrick, Roy, they put a huge amount of work. More than I could ever, yeah. And the new team came with new solutions. The voting, Patrick organized it. The dependency circles try to get guesstimation every few weeks to say, okay, we don't know how many people. Let's pick a number and try to make it. And actually, we're quite accurate, I might say. And the abstract sessions, which increased the number of abstracts, I think, from 20 to 49 in a hard bet. Come with an idea, you live with an abstract. That was beautiful. How did that go? Well, the Space Summit is still going on. We haven't given you any feedback forms yet, so I cannot answer that. That's a question that goes to you. And I'll just say thank you for being here and making it happen, because a conference without the people is actually nothing. So yeah, thank you. Questions? You mean the Space Summit? Yeah. Of course, right? Yeah. You have the budget for it now. We go even bigger. We go international. I think that was after like a few beers when we thought we can even make it international, but baby steps first.
I should probably know this because I'm organizing it, but my girlfriend asked me this morning, why is it called Spaces Summit? And I couldn't answer.
Is this videotaped? Well, the initial name was BoldCon, which we thought it was amazing, and we started marketing for it. But since bol.com is bol.com is a Dutch retailer brand, we were not allowed to have it as a name because it looked too close to bol.com. So then we went back to the drawing board. We were not very happy about it. And since we have spaces as an IT organization, we put also a summit there, and it became Spaces Summit. Hmm? Yeah.
Are there any meta questions?
What kind of questions would you like?
I have no idea.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you too.